Here.
Gibson.
Here.
Warren. Dees.
Here.
Nelson.
Approval of pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of minutes for December's meeting.
Motion. Second.
Passo.
Yes.
Dees.
Yes.
Lawrence.
Yes.
Gibson.
Yes.
Special guest Chastain, they're not here tonight. Louis Picardo to discuss police and mayor replacement due to injury, sickness, or resignation. Go ahead.
I think, first of all, I read the state law, and I think, and for this board, I know we've done it right. But in previous times, when the mayor's been dismissed for whatever reason, sick or whatever, they pick who they want. The law says that the mayor who's going out has to pick a board member first. If no board member, then he can pick whoever he wants. My question is why do we vote? Why shouldn't the second runner-up in the mayor contest be the guy you pick? Is that something can get changed in here?
They'd have to ask the IG now.
That's the first thing, and that goes for board members. You know, why, if we're voting for, there's 4 people up for mayor, and 1 wins, the other 3 don't, why aren't we asking that person first because he wanted it? The board member didn't want it because he didn't put his name on the board, if that's the case. So that's,
Be something like the board of elections we could deal with, right?
I actually don't know, that's a good question.
so that's one thing. So that was it. Now, the military. Everybody knows I'm retired military and worked for the state for years. Everybody's bringing up the cop that's been deployed and all this. I know Bev very smart on this, and I'm not trying to insult you when I ask this question, Bev, because me and you talked about how Richard screwed us hard at the village. People don't know this. There's grants out there that Richard was getting. It's called ADEP and seat belts and drunk driving. You set a schedule from 9 to 3 o'clock during their time frame that the national board tells you. You have to write 1 ticket every 18 hours patrol hours. How I did it for the Secretary of State Police, I look at your salary, break it down to monthly, weekly, hourly. Then I look at all your pickups, your insurance pickup, your retirement pickup and all that, and I come up with an hourly salary. That I charge to NTSB. They got the check for it. Unfortunately, Bev didn't understand this, because a lot of people don't. Richard would get the check in his name, but he still charged the community his overtime hours. No, you only get the 1. So now I'm bringing up with the military guy. If he's active duty, he's only entitled to be paid by the city the difference of base pay compared to his monthly salary at the state.
That's
Or
exactly right.
And I just hope we're doing that, because
Yep.
if you are, then that will shut everybody up, I hope.
Yep.
Lastly, I wanted to talk about police services fund. I don't think we can do it, talking to Bev earlier, but I was wondering why golf cart money, trailer park money, ordinances, fishing boat license, and all that couldn't go into a special fund to help pay for a part-time employee as a state cop. Because there's a lot, I mean, may not be a lot, but you think about how many violations. And then if you put it in a fund where you're funding a police officer, maybe I'm not going to pick on you, but maybe the police will go out and write more ordinances, $250. Hey, we do this all the time with people and not give them slack, and we follow the rules, then we can hire another guy. Or we can buy guns when we need them, or we can buy bulletproof vests when we need them. So I think Bev's going to answer that one, because we kind of talked, but since I brought it up, Bev, I'll let you know if you want to explain why or why not, we can do it, that's fine.
Boat stickers go into the lake fund, golf cart stickers go into the park fund. Ordinance violations, the money we get from Toby goes into the general fund, it's listed under fines. The police department is fully funded from the general fund. If you do something like that and separate everything, the police department could not survive.
Okay. Now, my question would be, and we kind of talked about it, but maybe we can alliterate and the lawyer figure out a way. I was working for Secretary of State Police, and when Jesse White decided to raise the license plates $2, me and Rob Bentel, who did the license plates for all cops, we wrote up an amendment and tried to write an appropriation to where that $2 would be broken down to every license plate bought in Illinois. $1 would go to the state police fund to help do whatever they want. 50 cents would go to the National Park or Parks and Reserve resources, and 50 cents would come to Secretary of State Police in a special fund. And Jesse, unfortunately, didn't want to fight it, and state police took it all. So me and Rob Bentel again shot our heads together and we said, okay, there's all these municipality license plates out there. There's all these undercover license plates out there, undercover driver's license out there. Make them come to us, and we take all the money. And we wrote an appropriation and got it approved. And lo and behold, we're making $900,000 a year. That helped pay for cars, that helped pay for students. Now, I'm not saying we're gonna make that kind of money on golf carts or nothing, but it was possible for us to write a appropriation, and it got approved. So I don't know if we can do that legally through city money or not.
Well, the golf carts and the vote stickers have already been established by the board where they want the money to go into. That was voted on.
Okay. Hey, I'm just asking.
Okay.
Trying to find money for the cops, you know, because we all complain that they're getting paid or we can't keep them here. So I thought we got this extra $25,000 a year. That might pay for somebody part-time. Thank you.
Thank you.
I always get an honest answer from you, Ben.
Thank you.
Okay, old business, I put this on here, discuss official start date for the new police officer. We got him hired here. I just need to know when we can get him started, because he's already been trained on the street.
Yeah, 'cause I thought it was last.
The last day for him was 23rd, and for, Tyra,
Yes,
the 23rd.
He's out of one,
the 23rd.
Yeah,
he's gone, right?
yeah, he's down here,
23rd of December?
yeah, or January.
Oh, this
January,
one.
he's here
Jan-
until the 23rd.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was December.
So we need to get this guy implemented because DJ leaves the first
The
of
first of
February.
February, for 2
We need
weeks.
to get him started more, well, as a budget, right?
Next week discussed it, and said, you know, once he got everything, he was gonna have a few weeks of some stuff to take care
Yeah,
of.
he's
whatever.
done, so
That-
he's ready.
Then we already vote on it too, that,
We've already,
Yeah,
we're gonna vote that we,
that he's ready to,
okay, so we can go ahead and
if I'm,
get him hired then? Get him working
that
then?
he's,
We start getting working then, good, okay,
yeah.
alright,
the
that's all I need to know.
there.
alright. Alright, visitors, a person shall be permitted an opportunity to address officials under the rules established by the village of Kincaid. 3 minutes, who is first? Anybody got-
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay, I just got 2 things. One, most importantly, I take it you're off suspension now?
Yes, ma'am, I don't know, yes,
So then we can
yep,
look forward to our next court date?
yeah, the ordinance violations are dictated by the circuit clerk's office as well as the judges. There's no judge here this week. It
Right,
was supposed to be the 15th,
it's yeah,
and it
we
got
got,
postponed because there's no judge, because
To
there's a jury
February.
trial, so it's going to February, I believe.
cool.
And your attorney should have gotten notice of that as well.
Yep, he
I
sent
don't
us
set
the
those
notice.
dates, and like
I just
said,
wanna
got-
make sure that we're
I got
on.
notice that the judge canceled the date too, so. thank you.
Okay, cool. Second one, so I heard that the Birchies still haven't moved their container.
That's under, but that's what we're dealing with right now.
Okay.
I can give an update on that in my attorney
Okay.
report as well.
Because you guys recall that you said that you would be fining her $75 a day.
Yep,
All right,
yep, we are aware of that.
thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I just got a couple questions on Mark. Mark is full-time with Taylor Drugs along with us too,
Yes.
and what shifts does he work?
11 to 7,
Here and,
in there.
11 to 7 and Taylor.
Yep.
who pays his insurance?
Mm-hmm.
Who pays his insurance?
Well, I don't know how that is, I think they pay half of it, and we pay half of it.
Full.
We pay full, yeah,
Why?
because he's employed here.
He's employed in there too.
I get that.
Well, I think, if we're gonna pay all of his insurance, then we need to cut his wages and the price of the insurance. Half of it. Let his employer in general pay half of it. Why should we cover that all in here?
I didn't know what the insurance payment was or anything like that. I can discuss that with Beverly. I don't know what the Rex rules responsibilities are of that, but you can put here first, so that might be some of it. But it's a very interesting question, I think, if you're.
Yeah, I mean, if he's working in Taylorville, they offer insurance.
Sure.
Just as well as we do.
Yep. What else?
Alright, is he allowed a 2-hour lunch break?
No. Nope, 1 hour.
Okay, then another thing, Kip last month wanted to do fish fries. That's ridiculous. You'll put that Methodist church to the ground.
I agree with you.
I mean, they rely on that money for the angel tree, for improvements, for the food pantry, for everything. We'd be allowed to stock of this town if we did that.
Well, I don't think it was gonna be the same
I agree.
time,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's gonna be the same time that they have theirs, so, I'm just saying, I'm throwing that out.
Cause I think they have
I
either
think
5
they
or
have
6
two,
weeks
yeah.
before.
Was 6
I
weeks,
agree.
and then according to what the weather,
Yeah.
yep, it was 6 weeks.
He did bring up he wanted to have it a couple of days during winter.
But it's, I mean, we talked about this before, if everyone remembers, that we can't, do something.
We're not gonna cut their throat, that's for sure.
I mean, the last time there was a fish fry down there, we did it 3 or 4 weeks after Easter.
Yeah.
A few Fridays,
Remember?
yeah, a few Fridays as far as, people drive up type of
Yeah.
situation, but I know they was wanting to do something with the kitchen.
Yeah, I agree. We need to do something, because we're not paying offset the cost of it.
Yeah, cause it's just sitting down there now, the equipment is.
Okay, then another question I got. If we do have something like that, and we make a profit, are we paying taxes?
Beverly,
We're nonprofit, we don't pay.
we're
taxes.
nonprofit.
Okay, what about like on the sell the property, if we sell the property? Same thing?
Again, I'm not sure about that issue. I can get you an answer if you like, sir.
Yeah. We almost keep trying.
Yeah, I agree.
We gotta pay taxes, we gotta pay taxes.
Yep.
Get under that and lose our, tax rate.
I'll get with Beverly and the auditors. Thank you, sir.
Betty, anything else?
Oh, Tony. He's,
Oh, go ahead,
You
go
already
ahead.
covered, you
Go
already
ahead.
covered,
No,
no,
go
no,
ahead.
I'll done, you already covered some of this stuff.
With this last snow issue, doesn't Mark oversee that? How does he do that when he's working at Taylor Road? That's my question.
He's usually here by, what, 7 o'clock, CJ? And he's dealing with it then. Now, I don't know if he calls them
Yes.
during the time that he's there.
Usually a call ahead of time too.
Okay.
Here.
And nothing goes on, I mean, the snow, that whole night was
It
awful.
a mess.
And that whole night, was he at work? Is that why nobody started doing anything that night? Because,
I think they started at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning.
yeah.
4 o'clock in the morning.
yeah,
Well, not Mark, right, because he was working,
At work.
wasn't he?
He wasn't, the other guys were.
Gotcha.
They were all working. Anybody else?
Does all our employees have their CDLs?
Yes. Yep.
Now with Mark, I understand he's salaried, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I put on Facebook a couple times ago, people complain about Mark, and I can understand you complain sometimes. But I also know that there's times that he was out spraying for bugs. He does, when he didn't have the job at Taylor Mill, he put in many hours of overtime that you don't get paid for. We gotta think about that too sometimes with him. I mean, he may not be perfect, but he's not a prisoner, you know?
Great.
no, I just wanna make
No,
sure
I know, I
somebody was
understand. I'm saying
taking care of it.
Facebook, what you read on
Yeah.
that all the
Oh,
time.
I
It's
know,
just-
you can't.
That's kinda why I'm up here this time. It's ridiculous.
Anybody else?
Has he given a timeline on how long he's willing to do this double duty? I mean,
No,
I have no idea.
not really hasn't. I mean, we can't stop somebody for having 2 jobs.
no, you can't, but you can ask that, you have a timeline, that's quite a bit. If he's putting in 40 hours there, 40 hours there, that's 80 hour a week.
I don't
I think
disagree
we all
with
know
you.
that's pretty demanding, I would be,
I don't disagree with you.
you know,
Yeah.
I would be wanting to know where he's coming from. I mean, if I'm on the board and he's working for me, I would want to know what future plans were. But nobody seems to know that.
I have no idea, Steve, as far as, I
Well,
mean,
I think we need to
nothing's
find
been,
out.
nothing's been said to me, the only thing I knew that he was gonna.
We can't stop the guy from having
I
two
would
jobs.
think-
Nope.
I really would, that's,
Now, you can't stop them, but remember when you worked for Secretary of State, we had to get permission to get a second job.
No, I agree.
Okay.
I agree, Joe.
I didn't know if we do that or not, but that's something we had to do.
and like he said, with us paying all the insurance and that, him, that's another point there, that's a very good point. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And they have a lot more money than we have, that's for sure. That's all I have. Thank you.
Anybody else?
I'd like to know where the camera's at. It was here for like one meeting or.
I sent it back.
Had
Because
sent it
the
back.
audio on it is trash, so I'll
I'm
send
getting
it back
it.
and we're gonna get it.
Good thing I'm still recording then, huh?
Nobody else got anything?
Yes, I do. Didn't we used to put shad around this triangle and that when we had ice and that?
Didn't we used to put what?
Small chat on top of the ice and that's for traction?
You talk like the cinders,
Well, he would know.
flash.
Yeah, something on top, something around the triangle side of
You
it.
know why
We
they
spread
stopped?
sand,
We
we spread
pay-
sand, because
sand,
one of our
yeah.
flanks won't spread the rock anymore, so.
Fly ash.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Not fly ash, as far as if people ended up with all these different flat tires, you remember that, Tony, or not? And that's why
Come
they
see
stopped
Claire in the
that.
kitty litter.
So we're doing sand is what we're doing. So.
Kitty litter
Well,
works
no,
too.
that's like the next Saturday coming around here.
Oh, no, I agree.
Well, I want to say about they need to widen the roads out.
No, I agree, and I said something to Mark about that too, so. I agree.
Now, one thing, Bobby, do we have an animal control officer?
No, we do not.
Is it
We-
because of cost?
That I don't know. I know Taylorville usually deals with it.
We had Richard years ago, if you remember, and they paid him separately. I mean, Tony was involved in that a little bit too, but they got paid separately on that.
Okay.
It was additional, and after that, I think that kind of dissolved.
Now, you just said Taylorville handles it here? No, they
Christian
don't.
County.
Or Christian County?
Christian County.
No, they don't.
Well, I don't know.
I've called them a couple of times on some abuse
Unless
and
it's
neglect
emergency.
cases here in Kincaid,
Yeah.
and they said they will not come.
I know
I had to
for-
contact the state.
I called up to the Christian County Pound one time and said, hey, I found a cat. It needs big time help. I about ran over a lawnmower to come out of the grass, and they said, we do not take animals from Kincaid no more because of disease. So I got Claire, and she took it, thank God. You know your limit time.
Okay.
Still am.
Approval of bills, guys.
Make a motion.
I'm trying to get you.
They need to.
Gibson, Lawrence,
Yes.
Dees,
Yes.
Passo.
Zoning report,
Issue one building permit.
approval of treasury report.
You have my report?
Motion.
Gibson,
Yes.
Passo.
Yes.
Lawrence.
Yes.
Dees.
Clerk's report.
I've given you a copy of my report.
Police report.
BJ didn't have anything for me. I called him down over here. Some calls, so as far as I should report, I don't have one.
I don't think that, Mark's not here, so no former attorney's report.
So OB's got moved to the February date since the judge called him off. I was notified that the Birchies did not follow through with their agreement by both the mayor and the clerk. They have been put on notice. They allegedly are looking into an attorney that I am not aware of, so I'm not contacting them via phone just in case they have an attorney. But they have been notified that pursuant to the November 12th meeting, I think it was.
Yep.
with a copy of the minutes that they are in violation and that they need to remove it immediately and come current on their fines. Or face. or
On
face
that
future.
question on there, with the fines, you can't put a lien against them, so how do you make sure they get paid?
We'll take care of it.
Okay.
Through the court,
Yep.
yeah.
I know everybody else, you have to put a lien against something. and
Litigation process,
People run
yeah.
away and,
There's all kinds of ways to do it, but.
okay,
Yep, good question.
thank you.
Thank you.
Trustees report?
I have one thing I'd like to bring up, maybe talk about in the next meeting or whatever, maybe put it on the agenda where everyone thinks in there, is, we knew we had this big snow coming this time, and I know it's probably pretty difficult, CJ can probably, some of the roads, maybe, what we have in place right now on snow emergencies on some of these streets, it's already tight, getting plows down through and getting these streets cleared up a little bit.
Well, they gotta make sure that they got their cars off the street too.
But it's, I would like to, I mean, again, I think it's only fair to the guys and fair to everyone here in town that we do something that to keep some of these vehicles back off. When we have something like this coming, big snow. Cause I was told some of the streets, they could be barely get down with a plow at all, is that correct, CJ?
Yeah.
But I guess what's everyone else's take on this? Should we discuss this more? I mean, we put on.
I think it needs to be discussed more.
Some safety, I mean, if we hit one of their cars, we're gonna be liable.
Yeah.
I guess we can look into it, I'll make a note, maybe look into it on my end in the book a little bit too, and see what we have in there, this week, if you, Jamie, if it's okay with the mayor and everyone else, will put it on the agenda for, discuss it for the, next main meeting, if we could. Maybe we talk about a committee meeting,
Yeah.
okay, Mr. Mayor?
Yep.
Okay, thank you, that's all I have,
Okay, I don't have anything. Motion to adjourn.
make a motion.
So,
Gibson,
yes.
Passo,
Yes.
Lawrence.
Yes. I'll look something up, Bob, see what I can find.
Yeah, I mean,